Good morning, I'm back, and today I'm going to show you Gdynia Orłowo, which is one of my favourite places in Poland, and I'm also going to share a short story about how I fell in the sea here. So let's get started. Okay, so Gdynia Orłowo is nestled right in between Sopot and Gdynia on the Baltic coast here in Poland. It's a small fishing village which is now probably one of the wealthiest parts of the Tri-City area. Lots of beautiful houses, expensive houses, a really nice beach, a small pier, cliffs on one side with a forest. And in the summer, so the reasons why this is one of my favorite places is because you can come here anytime, any season, spring, summer, winter, and it's always beautiful. Like, always one of the most peaceful and nicest places just to come for a walk, a coffee, visit one of the restaurants here, or just come for a little walk along the pier. It is really popular with photographers, which is where my story comes from, and I will share that story towards the end of this video. So if you don't want to watch some of the footage from here, then you can skip towards the end and I'll share the story about how I fell in the sea here. So yeah, let's just take a look, and I'll send the drone up, we'll have a little look around, and I'll come back. back again. So here I'm sitting next to my friend and when I said that I was going to tell a story, kind of a funny story, but it's also a bit serious, and it's a bit of a warning not to underestimate the Polish weather. As you've just seen from that drone footage, I said that this place, Gdynia Orłowo, is just super beautiful no matter what the season. And the reason I didn't come here and take any footage in the summer when it's really nice is because the trees right now are just the most beautiful colour. So I've probably just said the word beautiful far too many times. The trees right now are just such a nice colour that I just thought it might look a little bit better. And I did try to catch it sunrise, so some of it might be too dark, some of it might be too light, but we'll see when I get home and try and edit it a little bit. Hope it was alright, and hope it give you an idea of this place. So the story, onto the story. About 3 years ago now, I decided that I wanted to get into photography. So I bought myself a camera, Sony a6000, and decided to try and teach myself a little bit of photography. As I said before, this place is well known and really popular with photographers. There's quite a few of them around right now. So it was probably about the same time 3 years ago, maybe like December time, and the temperature, the weather got down to about -17, and there was a lot of snow around, and I thought it would be a great time to come and take some shots of the pier because it looks great when it's frozen up. Now what I did was, like, if you can just see where I'm sitting now, down here, like out there, the beach normally, the sea's normally further out and there's a bit more beach. So when I came here, everything was covered in snow. I'll put these photographs that I took that day on in a second, so it's kind of like my take on Peter McKinnon's photo stories. So yeah, the snow was right out, as you'll see from the pictures. And what I thought the best idea to do was to try and get a shot further out at sea. Now I knew the sea was frozen because I could see ice in the distance, but all I saw from where I was snow, so I assumed that the snow was just on top of the sand, and then the ice started and the sea was quite far out. So I walked down onto the sand, walked through the snow. Bear in mind it's -17, and that was -17 degrees Celsius, so it was pretty cold. And when I got further out, I thought, right, I had my tripod with me, my bag and my camera, and as I was walking out, the snow started to feel a bit more slippy, but seemed to be okay. And I got to where, as you can see, the pier goes down, right down there. I got about halfway down that pier, and there was nobody about, so it was quiet. It was sunset. I think it was a Friday night. There was nobody here. And then when I took a step a bit further, so halfway down the pier, I took another step, and the next thing I know, I just heard the crack sound of ice cracking, and my foot went straight through and into the sea, freezing cold sea. Now luckily I had waterproof boots on, but I had jeans on as well, and they were soaking. And then as I tried to get my foot out, my other foot went in, and I went straight into the sea. It was only up to about, I would say about just over knee height at that point, but the ice was so thick, it was literally about that thick on top of the sea, that I couldn't actually get myself out, and my knees were getting stuck. So I had to use the tripod to break myself free. And then every time I tried to step out, the ice was cracking again, and I was dropping back into the sea. Anyway, eventually I managed to sort of crawl out, and by this time it was probably just up past my thighs. I was obviously in a bit of shock, and I came back to where I'm sitting now, next to this statue of this man, where I took the original photo, which I'll show you in a second, from behind this man. And then when I got out, you know, I was quite relieved that I was safe, and that I was out of what I thought was a danger. But then because of the temperature and the wind chill factor, my jeans just froze solid. So they were just rock solid jeans. My feet froze solid, and I could hardly walk. I then started going dizzy, feeling a bit sick, and at the time I didn't have a car with me, so I was walking to the train. it took me a long time, even though it's not too far away from here. And then once I got on the train, lots of people were looking at me because I had frozen trousers, but I managed to warm up. And that's just, it's kind of a funny story, because I shouldn't be so stupid to walk out in the sea by myself in the middle of the winter. But it's also just a bit of a warning that Poland can get pretty cold at times, and it can be very, very dangerous, because when I read up after, the fact that I started to feel dizzy and sick meant that technically hypothermia was possibly setting in. So with the fact that nobody was around, it was a very stupid thing for me to do. Anyway, here's the photographs I took then. Let me know what you think, and if you're new to this channel, then my name's Mark, as I hopefully said at the beginning, and I try and make videos about my life here living in Poland as a British person. So if you like what you see, then please consider subscribing. Thank you very much. I'll catch you next time.